Hello everyone, welcome. This is a third installment to this video series, kind of a bonus video. Dio was asking me to finish up our arrays, how we switch between our guns and all that, so I've gotten that all finished up now, and a lot has changed, so I wanted to show you that this is where we're at right now, and we're actually getting a compile error, at least I am, because our guns is an object reference, not an actor object reference. So this align trace is getting an error because it's not an actor object reference that we're passing into there, which gets fixed. And then all of this is going to change as well. So let's get started on it. It's going to take all of this. Let's delete it all. I'm going to start over fresh. And then another thing I added to that we're going to add a want the guns, but we want a class reference to it. We're going to make that an array. No, that's set, not array. And this is going to be guns to ignore, so we can ignore when we have our whatever gun is in our hand, the line trace won't end up hitting it and causing it to ignore itself. Just give me 1 second here. So I'm just going to copy this over because I should have kept that part. Well, let me do that. Let's see. Should. God damn it. There we go. Our line trace beginning and end. Didn't want to delete that. Trace. And we got a start and our end. And guns to ignore for actors. Meaning this class of guns. We're going to split this, and on our out hit actor we're going to cast to our guns. Then we're going to get the name from the guns. Remember, we made our gun name variable inside of our guns. And then from there we're going to get our gun inventory. We're going to find it. We're going to check to see if it exists, essentially. And we're going to say if this equals, if you look and mouse over, it says the index of the item that was found, or -1 if not found. So if we don't find it, it's going to equal -1. So that way we make sure it's not in the array when we go to pick it up. And then we could do something else, you know, on the other side of the branch, where if we have it in our array, we could pick up the gun for ammo. So then if we don't have this gun in our array, we're going to add it to the array on a few of them. We're going to add the gun name itself. And then we're also going to add another one for the guns. And we're going to drag from here, get the class of the actor we hit. And that's the class that we're going to add. Wait, what? Let's delete that then. Delete, and we'll just do it this way. Boom. Promote to variable. Let's it's just a reference to the actor itself. I just can't use it. Maybe if we probably do it if we cast it off the gun itself, but that's alright. So we're going to add a unique for the class of gun and the name of it. And then we're going to also have to add it to our guns to ignore, so our line trace doesn't get screwed up by a gun we're holding, and we might make it like something big that ends up colliding with a line trace, so we want to make sure that no matter what, we're going to ignore the item that we're held onto. Oh, I haven't changed this variable yet. This is supposed to be just an actor. Oh. There we go. So now this will be a good little session of like checking to make sure that our array is working. We can go back over here into the editor. Oops, wrong one. That's right. This, hold on one second. This is showing the wrong editor. It's the one I want. Right here. So now, if we come in, real quick before, we need to make our editable. We want to see guns, guns to ignore, and gun inventory. Obviously, we can't pick these up yet, but if we go, and now back over to the main editor, we can click play. And we go over and we hit the gun. Now, it's not doing anything, but if we hit F8 to eject ourselves from the character to unpossess, we click on the character. We come over here, we can now see that we have our gun inventory of the Nerf gun, and we can't, as many times as I go over to it and press E to try and pick it up, it's only gonna be that one. It won't overlap them, so we'll always have that one unique in the array. So I went and clicked E on it a bunch of times, and you see that there's still just one of each. So now we're gonna get over here, and then I'm gonna copy and snip the paste of from what we used. It has some of it that we're gonna use. And let's see, right here. So, well, I guess we can do this part still. So we're gonna do our good old is valid of our holding gun. Got is valid, and so that way if it is valid, I'm going to paste this, we'll just destroy the actor, and we're going to destroy the holding gun, and we're going to empty the reference of it. And then if it's not valid, that's when we are attaching, I'm going to paste it in that same box again. That's when we attach our gun to the character. And then also on saying that is valid, but only after we have destroyed what our current gun is. And then we'll come over here. We need this again, because we need to. The gun that we're hitting is going to be the bone that we're snapping to, and then what's also going to be our holding gun that we're setting. Or wait. Yay. This needs to be switched to an actor. And then now we can our holding gun. So now we can go back and pick items back up. Alright, let's just select all that. Make a comment. Pick up items. Essentially, you probably want to put it into a function. You'd most likely call this multiple times, somewhere else maybe. So now we can pick up our guns, and we've got all our arrays and that good stuff. And now we need to get it where our mouse wheel and number pads, where we set for number 1 and 2 to manually switch through the weapons as well, which we're going to trash all this because we're going to use the arrays towards our switching. Where's this? Doesn't, I don't think we made the ones. I think we might have just called it. So I think we did mouse wheel up and then mouse wheel down. Okay, first we'll do the buttons because that one's going to be the easiest. So let's see, we got button slot number 1. So when it's released, we're going to go to a branch. Released. We're going to get our gun array and the holding gun. We're going to get the holding gun's class. And we're going to say if it equals get from this array, we're going to get slot number 1. So this is any gun in slot number 1. And so this will check if we're holding it or not. So if we're not holding it, we're going to destroy actor, which we need another holding gun for that. We're going to destroy the holding gun. And then we're going to spawn an actor. And then the class we're going to spawn is from our array of classes that we've put stored away for us. And then split it, and we're just going to give it our own world location to spawn at. Get actor location. It's just going to spawn at us. And then we can just copy and paste from over back up above, which I don't think I put that in. Our mesh needs to be the parent. We're going to attach that actor we spawn, and then make it that our new holding gun. And the mesh 2P, I didn't put it over here. This needs our mesh 2P. Because I remember it like not snapping right or something without having the mesh as the parent. Okay, so. And then this is what I was saying, it's super easy. So we can literally just do this. Paste that. Connect this branch. And set it to slot number 1 instead of 0. So now we have slot 1 and 2 of our weapon slots, just like that. And then finally, for our mouse scroll, get those, we're going to need more room. And pull them up above this. We start with the mouse scroll down. We're going to release, we're going to get a branch. And we're going to get our guns. We're going to find. We're gonna need our holding gun again to get its class. And we're going to see if find that class in the array. And from there, we'll subtract it from 1. And then we'll also make sure that we are greater or equal to 1. That way we can't scroll below, because 0 is going to be the bottom, so this is going to subtract the array by 1 all the time. So we always going to make sure we're going to stay above the bottom of the array. And so if that's true, we're going to destroy the actor again. And I'm sure you know, the holding gun, not destroying ourselves. I made that mistake before. Sorry about that. And then we're going to do a spawn actor again. And then we're going to pull from our guns again. We're going to do another get. And then this is going to be the array that we're getting. And this is going to be the class that we're spawning. And we'll split that. We need our world direction, actor location again. And our good old just copy and paste of the connection of the bones, the weapon to the bones. And then same goes for up. It's going to be quite similar. We can just copy all this again and paste it. This time though, because we want to make sure that we're getting a valid index, we don't want to go past our array. So this one, of course, we're not minusing in this one, we're going to be plussing. Integer plus integer. This is not going to be the condition this time. This time, from this, we're going to get is it a valid index? That way we can't scroll past our last index. And that way, if it's not a valid index, we can continue on. Or if it is a valid index, we can continue on. Sorry. Okay. So then we'll just destroy the actor again. The get will be from this plus. And then we are good to go. So now we can go play. Let me, hold on 1 second. And click play. I can go and pick up the weapon. And go and pick up weapon number 2. I could switch between them with 1 and 2. Can move my mouse wheel up and down and switch between them. And you now that they're fully functional now to where, so I can just go into my guns. This is what I did as a test, because we don't have another static or another skeletal mesh. The bone won't snap right, but this will show that all they have to do is come in here and create. This is what I created in my test, BP ball. And come over here. Let me put it on the screen for you. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so it's on the BP ball now. So I just added a static mesh and gave it a circle, a ball, whatever they call it. I think it's circle. No? Sphere, that's right, sphere. I gave it a sphere. So now you've seen I've created this. I've done nothing with it. I just created it and put a mesh on it. Now watch, I can come over back into the game and put that in the world. Now if I go and click play, I can come over here and pick this ball up. I've got these 2 guns, and boom, You can see that I'm holding it through the shadow. Obviously, you can't see it. So now you can go 1, 2, but you can't get to your ball because you haven't made that third slot, but you can still mouse wheel to that ball. So now we have arrays, so all you have to do is add a new weapon, throw it down on the map, it adds it to the array, you can pick it up. We also made it where you can't pick up more than one. So if I come over to this gun, I duplicate it, click play, I go and pick the first one up, and I'm like, oh yeah, second one. Nope, can't pick it up. So we could add something in afterwards, you know, where we'll pick it up, but it doesn't add it to our array or anything. It gives us some ammo to that gun, which we could search to find out the same way that we spawned and shit like that. We could search the array to find when we line trace and that fails because it's already in our array, we just go up from that branch and then we would get the class of what we hit and then just add ammo based on what class we hit. So we can do things like that, which make it, you know, much more viable and easy to add new comprehends of basically a list of weapons. You could add lists and lists of weapons, and your character is ready to pick them up. Obviously, you might want to have limits. You can set a limit to your array, so the array will only grow so large. You know, we can make all sorts of conditions like that, whatever you want. But as you can see, we got a functional array which we could switch between now. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.